So this is going to be a major week in this market right now because we have the government shutdown news, which everyone's talking about, Rel, and then we have CPI coming out. So I know there's a lot of scary stuff with the government shutdown, like, yo, are people going to lose their jobs? Are we going to stop working as the economy, as a state going down, as a country going down, yada, yada, yada. But this is not the first time this is happening, right?
No, definitely not the first time. Actually, it's happened quite often in American history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So real quick, everything we share on the screen will be in the description below. And right here, right, is the first article we want to show you guys. So it says the last government shutdown was the longest for more than 40 years. And then here are all the recent shutdowns in one chart. So if you scroll down, this is going to show you all the different shutdowns. The one thing we want to show you guys that's super important is this right here. Just look at the dates. December 22nd, 2018 to January 25th, 2019. This is the longest shutdown in over 40 years, which was 35 days. So Rel, do you remember what happened during this time? During this time, was it just a up market or was it just a down market? Was it one direction?
For the stock market, man, I mean, heading into the shutdown, the market was tanking. It was bad. But then during the shutdown, it was ripping to the upside. I'm talking about absolutely going all the way up. So it's kind of backwards. You wouldn't really expect that, but I'll show you what I mean soon.
Yeah, no, this would be a good time. So go ahead. You can share your screen. I just want you guys understand these are the dates that you want to be careful about to remember. So I'll stop sharing real quick and go ahead, bro.
Nah, definitely.
I feel like a lot of people, there's a lot of news right now that's going around. A lot of YouTube channels are making episodes about this, and they're like, yo, this is it. This is what the stock market could be going through. But just because there's a lot of bad news doesn't mean the market's going to go down. Usually what you think is going to happen doesn't happen.
Yes, exactly. That's the major point. What you think will happen does not always happen. Look, bro, heading into the government shutdown. So you can even look the market was going up, because follow this as direction. If you're not familiar with charts, guys, if you see this going in the upward direction, reading it from left to right, that means that the price of the SP 500 was going up. Mm-hmm. All right. So as you see, the market was indeed going up. And then around early October, all the way until the government actually did shut down, the market was tanking disgustingly. You can see we were going down vertically. It was a very bad drop off. But what's interesting is they announced that the government actually did shut down on December 22nd, 2018. Mm-hmm. And that's this day, right? So the very next day, the market ripped, bro. I'm talking about absolutely.
Imagine this, if you were an investor during this time period and you heard this news and you started seeing the sell-off, you were probably getting very scared because that's a multiple days. Every single color that's red is representing a candle. And if you see red over and over and over again, that means it's bad. So now you're seeing red, you're like, yo, I'm getting scared, I'm gonna sell. As soon as the government shut down, you're like, oh, I'm gonna sell because it actually did shut down. There's no more extensions. And then you missed that entire rally. Look at it. And then you tried to get back in. But the thing was, you should have never sold because you should have been DCAing the entire time. So that is something I really want to point out because it's very important.
Yeah, bro. They absolutely shook people out of their positions here because, like you said, leading up to it, you're thinking, oh man, I mean, well, if it shuts down, then this gonna get even worse than this. But ironically, the minute they shut down, it just got way better. And that's because people have to understand the stock market is looking ahead all the time. The stock market moves 6 to 9 months ahead of the economy. And so by the time the news actually hits, they've already priced it in. This is a perfect example of them pricing in news before it happens. So when the news actually happens, they absolutely run it up because the shutdown actually ended right here. And they already started the uptrend way before it actually shut down. And then, of course, that just led into a whole bull market in itself. You can see we just went straight up ever since then. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing happen again.
Yeah, and I think one thing to also note, guys, is the stock market does not like uncertainty. So if it's bad news or good news, as long as it's news that's confirmed, they're good with it because they know which way to react. So if it's yo, I know the government shutdown's happening. Okay, I'm going to price it in. As soon as it happens, I know it happened. So it's when you break up with a girl, right? Or something, or vice versa, you get broken up. It's yo, I don't know what to do. I'm uncertain. You're reacting all different types of ways. But as soon as something happens, it's okay, it's good. I get it. I could react now because I know what's happening. So in this case, we have until November 9th initially to be like, oh, everyone thought November 9th was going to be a time that you had to get the stuff in order for the government shutdown, to be like, oh, is it going to extend or are we going to actually shut down? But then now it's November 17th because they did not resolve this by the 9th. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the market reacts, because up until the 17th, it's like it's going in multiple different directions. You know what I mean on that?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I mean, you can kind of see it in the recent price action, which is basically saying like recently in general in the stock market, you can see we've been really ripping to the upside lately. Like, the market has been extremely bullish. We actually we almost set a record for how many green days we had in a row just now in the stock market. And so we've been really, and mind you, this is after a lot of dropping. If you could see, we've been pretty much moving downward, and then we just ripped to the upside just now. So this is leading into government shutdown news. So here's the thing. It's like, and you could give me your opinion on this. Do you think, let's say we do shut down on the 17th, do you think that'll be a catalyst to cool the market back down? Or do you think that, we're going to keep this journey to the upside?
I don't even think government shutdown is going to be the main thing. I think it's going to be CPI. That's going to be very important. And that's what I think I'm more concerned about. Because government shutdown, once again, it's like this is not the first time. And it's also not the first time in the last 5 years either. So it's like I'm not as concerned with that as I am with CPI.
I hear you. You know what the thing is? And this is kind of the point I wanted to make here on these charts real quick, right? So if you look at like how the market tends to do things, they tend to do what you don't think will happen. You know what I mean? Because if everybody's on one side, the market tends to do the opposite, because why would they let everybody win? So what I'm saying is everybody up until Jerome Powell spoke was thinking like, all right, yes, we were rallying so hard last week, rallying like the market was moving all the way up. And then Jerome Powell spoke on this day here, Thursday, the 9th. And the market went down that day. So everybody thought, oh, see, we couldn't break over these highs. See these highs from the 17th? We couldn't break over these highs. Jerome Powell spoke, brought us to the downside. And then Friday, the market was super green and broke through these highs. So right now, everybody got bullish. Like, oh, I guess we broke these highs. We're bullish. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying I want to watch this week to see if we will immediately rip right back to the downside. And CPI could be the catalyst. Government shutdown could be another catalyst to bring us even lower. I don't know if that'll bring us maybe just to the middle of this range, or if it'll bring us to these lows. But nonetheless, it's like right now, one thing I can say is and you guys know I trade full time, right? A lot of people that trade think that we're bullish right now. And I'm not even saying we're not, but they're just, a lot of people are betting that the market will continue to go up with no cool down. And I'm just saying, everybody's on one side right now. This would be a perfect time for them to sell us back off, and CPI could absolutely be that catalyst.
So that's why I want to go into the next article, right? So if I could share my screen really quickly on this one. So what you just said with the CPI, and by the way, real quick, guys, if you're still watching, please make sure you like this video, comment any thoughts you have, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because it really does help us out a lot. But with the CPI news, and also, guys, happy Diwali to everyone who celebrates. That's why I have that in my background. Now, let's go to the CPI news. So it says the CPI may deliver a massive surprise to the market. This is as of November 12th. And the reason why is because apparently, based on this man's research, this company's research, it says the October 2023 CPI report could change the trend in the inflation fight. Now, if you look at what happened in 2021 and in 2022, for the CPI, they were both surprising in either direction, right? Like, because if you go over here, it says S&P 500 was soaring by 5.5% after inflation missed the estimate that they had in mind. So that was for 2022, and the same thing happened in 2021. But if you scroll all the way right here, is the big question mark for this month's inflation will be where medical costs are in 2023. And much of that is likely to be determined by how the health insurance part factors into the equation. The data and forecast seems to indicate that healthcare costs will be rising starting with the October report. And if that is the case, the case for inflation sticking around for some time only seems to be strengthening. And sticking, right, would just mean it's bad. Because if it's like 4%, 4.3%, 4.2%, 3.9%, 4.7%. It's like you're not going down. You're just sticking to that one area. And we all know Jerome Powell, the one thing he cares about, or two things I should say, is inflation, because he cannot afford, Rel, to get that to go higher. And in a weird way, I think he wants inflation to, and it sounds weird, but I think he wants this number to be a little bit higher so he can increase interest rates or keep them exactly where they are, which will then impact the job market. And that will eventually lead to him being like, finally, okay, good, people got fired, which he actually said on the channel. Well, not on the channel, I wish he came on the channel, but he has said that out loud, where it's like, yo, like, I know the job market is strong. We need to impact this. And AKA, y'all are having way too much money in your accounts. I need to fire you so you don't spend as much. That's simple translation. And that's what it comes down to. So it says if there was ever a time when inflation data could surprise to the upside, meaning it goes up, obviously, this October seems to be like the ideal candidate. And this is a great article for you guys to read. Like, you guys could read it. And this is even talking about the energy cost for gas and everything of that sort. So definitely check this one out. But it's very interesting because it's like, if all that's happening, this is a very important week.
Yeah. I mean, I know that gas prices and stuff did come down in this time period, but like they said, the whole healthcare thing
that's
is
accounted for. But that's accounted for. That's what I'm also saying.
Yeah, I did peep that part too. So like, yeah, it definitely could surprise to the upside, and I'm interested to see like what it does, because we know Jerome Powell does want to keep rates high. Because right now everybody does have a job, and as long as people have jobs, inflation is going to stay high. It's just what it is, because everybody keeps spending. They're not going to stop spending as long as they get a check every 2 weeks. Point blank period. With the market, I mean, the economy has proven that. And like Newski said, he can't outright say, I want you to get fired, but he's saying it in so many words at the same time. It's like
reading between the lines. Like, coach, we're trying to bench you. He's not going to say, you're benched, bro, you suck. Like, he's just going to say, you got to work a little bit harder, work on a few goals here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it goes. So, like, you got to read in between the lines for what he's going to try to say. He, as the head of the Federal Reserve, he's not going to come and say, I want you guys to get fired, right? Like, that's extreme panic, which he also can't afford, but he low-key wants.
He low-key wants, and that's why it's like a lot of people right now, I think the last time I checked, there's like maybe like a 10% chance that they're going to do a rate increase in December. But listen, if CPI is bad and they have to increase interest rates in December, ooh, the stock market not gonna like that, bro.
And this is the thing. I mean, this is gonna be on the fly. Should we tell them exactly what our opinions are of the market and like what we did with our stocks?
Yeah, man, let's put them on.
Yeah, so guys, like Rel and I, and you guys might think we're clowns, but it is what it is. Like, we decided to actually just stay cash heavy. Like, we sold a lot of our gains. We took, and that's, mind you, gains is the key word. So we took the gains off the table. We're heavy on cash right now. We're heavy on cash. Reason being is because, one, we want to secure ourselves. And two, I think, Rel, is really, tell me if you want to chime in, but I think it's really because we are not so sure the market has recovered. And that's why we want to just make sure we have cash so we're ready to take advantage of it. In the meantime, we're DCAing, so we're not missing anything. But I think it's very important to recognize that if there's an opportunity that presents itself, we should have the cash for it.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's the type of accounts that we liquidated, right? So the thing is, the retirement portfolio, DCA for life, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, make sure.
Exactly. This is more of like a swing account. This is an account where this is money we plan on using for other ventures down the line. So it's like, all right, if we made significant gains on it, just like if I'm in a regular trade, I know I trade, then I'm not going to watch my trade go from I'm up 40% to break even and then watch it go red. Like, what are you doing? Like, no, if I go from 40% to 25% or something, it's like, you know what, let me take off my 25% and keep that real quick. I'm not gonna watch my gains bleed down. So it was kind of like that with all the macroeconomics going on. That's just showing like, yo, and geopolitics showing that like there's a lot of things to be worried about in this market.
Right.
I'm not playing with fire here. If the market keeps ripping to the upside, first of all, we're covered retirement wise, DCA wise. Yeah. The swing account is the thing that is kind of like, all right, the swing account might miss those gains, but it already made gains and we chilling.
And I know this is not a crypto episode either, but I did want to point you guys to that too. Like, cause I think it's our job as being on this YouTube channel and starting everything we did. I think it's very important to be transparent. I am DCAing. Rel is a believer in crypto, but he's also skeptical, just like I am right now, right? But we don't want to be dumb and just miss everything, which I think is very important. So everyone right now who decides to put like 5 to 10K or more at one crypto or two cryptos, like, don't do that. Do not be that person that just dumps everything. Because if it goes up, you're happy, you're great, you look a genius. If it goes down, you feel very silly. So it's, I think, very important to DCA even into that, and only put the amount that you are comfortable losing. Like whatever I put, I feel like I lost already, because it is a very risky asset, and you should not be more than like 10% into your entire portfolio of crypto. Not a smart decision.
Not to be a conspiracy theorist, but since when does the bigger money, right, central banks, whoever, want all consumers to get rich at the same time, especially with an inflationary problem going on in the world and a spending problem? Why would they want to make us all rich? So everybody knows crypto is the consumer's asset right now. Like a regular person could get rich off crypto. We all look at the prices and say, oh, it costs $1. You said, well, unless you're in New York?
Unless you're in New York and they have stuff that they can't let you buy certain coins, but whatever.
Right. Don't get me started, but yeah, it's like, everybody looks at the buy-in price like, oh shoot, this coin costs $2. I could turn $2 to $1 million. Like,
yes, please make sure you do that. Yeah. Talk about real quick. I don't want to go off a tangent, but just talk about, or should I talk about it? The whole, if I put $2,
that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense, guys. It's about what you invest into any asset. I don't care if you buy one share of something worth $500 or 500 shares of something worth $1. How much did you put in of your money? 500. Okay. So when that asset goes up 10%, okay, you made $50. Yeah. That's it. So it doesn't matter if you have 500 coins or one coin that's expensive, you're still going to make $50 if $500 of your money goes up 10%.
So for all my people who are thinking of getting into Dogecoin or any altcoin, listen, guys, there's great. We are not a crypto channel. If you want to listen to other crypto channels, go ahead. We can only tell you that we believe in something by DCAing into it and never putting a whole lump sum amount. So if you want to put a lump sum amount, today you have 30,000 of Dogecoin, that's great. But you only put in $100, bro. I hope you know that. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. So it's just please make sure you understand that. I don't want to go on a tangent. So is there anything else, Ralph, that you want to tackle?
I just wanted to finish saying real quick. It's just that if everybody is in one direction right now, as we know, everybody's looking at Bitcoin and everybody rallying because everybody's anticipating, because it's not confirmed. It is anticipation that the ETF will come out.
We can go on forever. Yeah, I have so much to say on that too. Go ahead.
Man, what? It's like everybody anticipating. This is the perfect time to do a rug pull. If I was big money, think about it. We got our relatives literally hitting us up saying, hey, I want to buy Bitcoin and this and that.
And Thanksgiving's right around the corner. I swear they do this every time during the same time. I swear this always happens at the same exact time.
Right around Thanksgiving, exactly. That's a fact, bro. That was literally the top of the crypto market.
Yo, literally, I'm telling you, that always happens. They always, like, I have uncles hitting me up and being like, now I got someone, like a family friend, if you're watching, no shade. But like, it comes down to like, can you sit down with me and talk about crypto now? I'm like, bro, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you no financial advice, but this is what I do. So, but yeah, you're right. The rug pull is very, very clear. It could happen anytime, but we don't want to go into two conspiracy theories here. But we did release a video last week talking about how even CEOs are resigning. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check that out, because that's another thing that people are not talking about, but Bag Talk got you covered. So make sure you check that out. But this wraps up the actual episode today. If you're still watching, we appreciate you. Thank you. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Plus hit that little notification bell because we drop
2 videos a week.
And you do not want to miss them. Check out our new episode on Wednesday. But until then, peace and happy Diwali.
Peace.
Soundstripe.